It's showtime.
Hey everyone, Django Fett here, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more, and this is a review of Birds of Prey, or Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Such a stupid title. And this is a movie directed by Cathy Yan, and this is really her second movie that she's done. She did Dead Pigs before, which I've never heard of before, and it's also produced by, surprisingly, Margot Robbie, Brian Unkeles, and Sue Kroll. So it's interesting to see Margot Robbie actually being a part of the producer role as well. That's pretty cool. And it's written by Christina Hudson, who has done Bumblebee, which I still have not seen. Not really interested in the Transformers series. And she's set to do the Flash movie, which I'm not interested at all. This movie, when I saw this trailer, it looked like shit. I hated the trailers. It looked ugly to me. There was nothing appealing about this movie. The only reason I wanted to see this movie is because of Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn because of Suicide Squad, and you guys know my thoughts of Suicide Squad. Obviously, that's changed to this point. You can check out my review, but it's not a good movie. It's okay. To me, but it's not the worst movie like everyone's making it out to be. With this movie coming up, this was the reason I wanted to watch it. But at the same time, I didn't because I was like, Harley Quinn's not part of Birds of Prey. And she's only the reason I want to see it. I want to see a Harley Quinn solo movie. I hate seeing all these team-up movies when it's supposed to be a solo movie nowadays. You know, Black Widow is doing the same. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. It looks okay. It looks probably more competent than this movie, but we'll see. But I'm kind of sick of like these solo movies turning into, team-up movies. But even though this movie is supposed to be a team-up movie, so that makes sense. So let's get into the good things before I get to the bad, because that's when I will draw a lot of criticism and a lot of hate for this video. So let's get to the good parts first. So easily, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is awesome. I don't think she's as good as she was in Suicide Squad, in my opinion, but I do think she's the highlight. She's great in this movie. She definitely holds the entirety of this movie. And there is some action moments, action pieces that I liked. I think the locker scene or the police scene was pretty cool, and it definitely had a good look about it. There's some really cool visuals with this movie, so I will give it credit for that. There was some cool stuff. And I will say it's more competently done and written than Suicide Squad, but that's not really saying much. And Ewan McGregor, I always get the name wrong, whatever at this point. I wanted to see it because of him too, because, you know, he's an awesome actor, and he really puts his heart and soul into playing as Black Mask, I should say. I kind of liked where they were going with him, but okay, let's just get to the bad stuff. I didn't like this movie, man. I really did not like this movie. It's just my take on this. I felt this was pretty generic. A very generic and boring superhero movie. And I'm starting to feel the superhero fatigue now. I really am with this movie now. And it's really evident with seeing, like, with the criticism with this movie, saying everybody's liking it. It was like at 90% at some point. Now it's down to 80%. But the average is like much different. So DC, who owns Rotten Tomatoes, is like hiding the real score. So it's extremely shady stuff, and I don't really like that stuff. I don't like how they did that. But anyway, I don't care about them. My take is I just don't think this is a good movie. I actually had more enjoyment out of Suicide Squad than this movie because there was some good parts to that, and it did have some enjoyment, especially at that time. Now it's like, you know, it's been there, done that, of course. But the plot is super generic. It's just like Deadpool 2 and everything we've seen before. So pretty much, Harley Quinn has to get this girl who actually has this diamond, who steals the diamond from the bad guys, and, you know, they have to protect her, and eventually she teams up with Birds of Prey at the end, and they become the Birds of Prey or whatever. We've seen this a million times before, and the setup for that was not that great. And the characters are bad. they're not good. There's no development, there's no characterization, there's nothing that makes you really feel for any of these characters. I mean, there's like Black Canary, I will give you that. The actress who plays as her, god damn, she's gorgeous, man. I really like her, but they don't really know her that much, and the villains were super generic. The Zaz is in this movie for some reason. He acts over the top and weird. Black Mask isn't really Black Mask to me. He's like a hitman, and then after he has his mask fused into his face, then he becomes like the gangster, evil son of a bitch that we know. But before that time, he's not really... I mean, he's an evil guy, but he's not to that extreme that he becomes when he has the mask fused on him. And unfortunately, towards the end, they didn't really... they threw that all away, and I'm not going to spoil it. It just pissed me off. Like, they could have done much more with this character. But the characters are super bad. The writing was not very good, and especially the girl. The little girl who they have to... She's a fucking douche. I fucking hated her guts. And this little girl. First, she can't act worth shit. The actress who plays as her, fucking terrible acting. I didn't know she's a kid. I get it. But the acting for her is fucking awful. And there is nothing redeeming or good about her character. She is just an arrogant prick. And I could give two shits. If she got shot in the stomach or shot in the head, I couldn't give it, like, I'd be happy, to be honest. Because she was super fucking annoying. And it's just like Deadpool 2. I mean, the kid in the beginning, who was in many other movies and was quite funny and is actually a good fucking actor, is annoying at first, but you grow on him, and you actually grow to find a connection with him in Deadpool, and this movie just borrows everything from Deadpool 2. This team-up movie that eventually has to save the kid and all this other stuff. And it's just... the movie just borrows that same fucking plot. Even though it has its differences here and there. Super generic. And there was nothing really that grabbed my attention in this movie. I was bored throughout this movie. Really, really bored with this movie. Maybe it's a product of all the superhero movies that have come out in the past. And this one came out super late. This movie should have come out years ago. I would have appreciated it. But now, it's like I've seen so many superhero films now, and now this is just like another one that has just been there, done that. Maybe I am just a cynic and just an evil son of a bitch. I don't know. But there was nothing about this movie that grabbed me. Even Harley Quinn, I thought she was better in Suicide Squad, to be honest, than she was in this. I don't know, like, I just don't get this movie. I just feel like if they did a Harley Quinn solo movie, I'd be fine with it. But instead, they wanted to combine that and Birds of Prey, and they wanted to branch out. And you even see the Birds of Prey costumes at the end, and they look super fucking stupid, especially Huntress. My god, I mean, her character herself was kind of pretty much forgettable. Most of the characters were, but it was just, my god, that costume was awful. And plus, in the beginning, you have the poster with, like, all these characters in their plain Jane clothes. Like, there was nothing differentiating about them. They were just normal Janes, Jim and Joes, nobodies. And then they become somebodies at the end. But still, like, it was just... they were all super generic. I'm just really ragging at this movie at this point. Let's just give this rating. So I'm giving Birds of Prey a... I'm gonna get a massive amount of dislikes for this video. I don't care. This is just my thoughts. If you feel differently, that's fine. Go see it, man. You'll probably enjoy it more so than I do. I mean, you gotta be creative and different with these superhero films. But if you're trying to do the same thing over and over again that we've seen a million times before, it's not gonna work, and I'm gonna be super critical of it. And this is what this movie does. It's just like fucking, Deadpool 2. It's the exact same fucking plot. And Deadpool 2 has done it with other movies, you know, Save the Kid, all this other stuff. Super generic. But Deadpool 2 actually got away with it because it actually has a good character, Deadpool. And, you know, this one has Harley Quinn too, but Deadpool gets away with the wackiness. And this movie, it tries to be over the top and rated R and, you know, saying these F-bombs. I don't mind the F-bombs. I don't give a shit about this stuff, or the gore or whatever. But it tries to be over the top and, like, you know, tries to be crazy and all this other stuff, and tries to emulate Deadpool so much that it doesn't work. Like, Harley Quinn is not Deadpool, and like, it only works in a Deadpool movie. This doesn't work with, like, Harley Quinn or other, you know, superheroes out there. It just doesn't work. And this movie was trying to go for that. Plus, the plot was everywhere. They wanted to go with, like, explain all these characters, and Harley Quinn was narrating through the whole thing. Like, we don't need this shit, man. What are we, babies or something? Come on, like, fuck off. This movie, after thinking about it, it really pisses me off more. Like, I was just curious how this movie will end up, and I knew it will be bad, but it was actually better than expected. I will give it credit for that, but it was just not. It was just so boring. It was just a boring movie. It was super boring and generic. I did not like this movie. I'm not impressed at all with this movie. So please be sure to like this video, comment down below. Tell me your thoughts of this movie in the comment section below. Just let me know in the comment section. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel, Django Fett, if you haven't already. And I'll see you, my fellow Mandalorian businesses, next time. Ooh, yeah!